We have more time in Greece. It's fixed now. And the Muslim Brotherhood has won in Egypt. Yes, now the Muslim Brotherhood is in control of Egypt. I think this. Well, I mean, Bill Kristol didn't exactly get this one right. I don't know exactly. Could somebody help me look this up? I don't know what the opposite of prophetic is. It might have Bill Kristol's picture in there. I'm not sure. If you're looking in the thesaurus and you're looking for antonyms, prophetic might be Bill Kristol. Here's what he said.
The Egyptian people have managed to pull off this democratic, peaceful removal of a dictator and now have a seemingly pretty stable situation in the streets of Cairo and the other big cities with a guarantee or at least a promise of a transition to free and fair elections and no real sense that those elections are going to go in some terrible direction for the U.S. Or for Egypt itself. Right. I think this may be a case where the normal worldly pessimism is too pessimistic.
True dat. With elections in Egypt, which finally came to pass, Bill's shame is almost now entirely complete. The Muslim Brotherhood's candidate has claimed victory now. His party is now in control in Egypt. Now, at least you might be saying, well, that's great. At least the military won't be in control. And that's true. Now it's just an Islamic extremist group that's in control. A group that, let's not forget, eschews violence, but assassinated Anwar Sadat. Is mostly secular, but Egyptian cleric Safwat Higazi says this.
حلم الخلافة الإسلامية حلم أرض الخلافة يتحقق بإذن الله على يد الدكتور محمد مرسي ومن معه من إخوانه وجماعته وحزبه رأينا الحلم الكبير.
Now, for those few people that don't speak Arabic in the audience, here's what the wonderfully talented Safwat just said. He says, we can see now how the dream of the Islamic Caliphate is being realized, Allah willing, by Dr. Mohammed Mursi, the winner of the great election. Bill Kristol, you might want to write that one down. And his brothers and supporters of his political party. That would be the Muslim Brotherhood. President Obama, you should write that down. We can see how the dream shared by us all, that the United States of Arabs will be restored, Allah willing, by this man and his supporter. The capital of the Caliphate, the capital of the United States of Arabs will be Jerusalem, God willing. So, I'm sure it's all going to work out. This might be a case where the least pessimistic wasn't pessimistic enough. Now, Bill, what I said about this so-called Arab Spring, if you'll remember, was that it was extremely dangerous, that it could lead to an Islamic caliphate. I didn't say that elections would never be held. I said that we should be very concerned about what's taking place there because it could be very bad for the United States and Israel. Yes, the other guy was closely tied to Mubarak and the military, and people were rightly troubled that if Ahmad Shafiq would win, it would be more of the same. But what do we have now? Definitely not more of the same. Now we have a battle for power between the military and a new Islamic regime that wants a caliphate with its headquarters based right there with chaos. Not to be confused with control. With chaos in Jerusalem. By the way, it kind of goes hand in hand with the destruction of Israel, but who's counting at this point? Now we have a regime that seems likely to turn Egypt into an Islamic state that will crack down on freedom and be an imminent danger to the Christians in Europe. They're already making Christians now pay for the right to be Christians. You know that's happening? From the sands of Tripoli. What is that song? How's that go? The sands of Tripoli. I'm trying to remember the whole song there, for the Marines, which were, oh, wait a minute. The Marines were created because Thomas Jefferson said, we got to stop this Islamic nightmare from spreading because they want to kill us all. And what were they doing? They were charging America ransom. You go ahead and be non-believers. You go ahead. We're just gonna charge you for it. So we were paying them an anti-Islamic tax, if you will. We're not Islamic. Pay the tax. Ended up being 75% of our annual budget in the United States. That's why we went to war. Because Thomas Jefferson finally looked at this and said, this is insane. What are we paying 75%? And what do they want? Then he went and got a copy of the Quran. Then he printed the Quran, put a little warning in it, and said everybody in America should read this thing because these people are nuts. And they'll kill us all. We can't coexist with this. That's why we fought our first foreign war. Thomas Jefferson, which he's exactly like Ron Paul. He says, stay out of everything. Oh, wait a minute. No, he didn't. We went over to the sands of Tripoli. That would be Libya. Wow, how it all comes full circle and makes not Bill Kristol, but Thomas Jefferson right. Instead of pulling off, as Bill Kristol said, a democratic, peaceful removal of a dictator, the removal wasn't democratic and it wasn't all that peaceful. Then he said, we have pretty seemingly stable situation. Seemingly and pretty being the operable words. The parliament has been dissolved. The building is surrounded by troops. The Muslim Brotherhood has set up an interim assembly not recognized by the military. Both sides are jockeying now for power. Seemingly, it seems like we have a somewhat peaceful situation. What we have then, Bill, is an absolute mess. And here's the good news. It's been a year since your anti-prophetic message, and we can see pretty clear who was sadly, horrifically, possibly to the peril of our own countrymen, mistaken. But congratulations. Congratulations. You're doing a great job. And there's no chance of you stopping anytime soon.